Hi, my name is Carla. Welcome. I like to document my journey with my husband through chronic illness, as he is currently a dialysis patient awaiting a kidney transplant. Daniel's about to call his mom right now because our lives are just about to change. You excited?
This is mommy. Because I'm a mama's boy. We just got the call. It's official. Well, I'm listed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're gonna send us like the ID number and all that stuff. It's gonna get sent through our portal. We have a portal linked with the transplant center where we'll access all our information. Carla already set that up. So I'll be able to access it through there, and then we'll get a letter.
Okay, so when are we people that are interested could test themselves?
That can happen already. No.
That would be so awesome. Like I have you inside of me and helping.
Oh, talk about poetic.
At that point, I want a what is a lifetime movie?
I know, Carla said at that point, I want a lifetime movie. If we're not on Hallmark by 2024, I'm gonna be mad. I want an Amazon Prime original. That's what I want. Like a Soul Surfer. Yeah, something like that. That's funny. Okay, I just wanted to let you know the good news. Voy pa una...
And tell our story and hopefully inspire others to live their lives fully and in the pursuit of the Lord, even through really hard and difficult times. Today we are in a farm and we are gonna go and pick blueberries and strawberries and just have a good time. But we have a few challenges ahead of us, as my husband just had surgery a week and a half ago, and then he also uses a scooter to get around just because of dialysis and all of his health conditions that were brought on by the pandemic, mind you. He is just unable to do a lot of walking and stuff like that. So we're gonna see if we can even get to do the things that we want to do today, which is a big factor of our lives and why I like to document all of this for maybe those who are going through very similar experiences. So without any further ado, come along with us. Let's see how this day goes. So we're just gonna probably drag it until we get there. Other times I miss the basket. We figured out that Daniel will be fine. Are you stuck? You get stuck in like certain areas, but you're doing it. You can kind of see them in there, purple ones, but there's like tons of green ones. I'm no expert. Yeah, I'm assuming that they're going to get right off the vine. This one has that blue tag. And I don't like them too purple because this is harder than it. Because if you get them too purple, they get mushy. We got our blueberries.
A lot of blueberries.
Really considering buying a bush because they're so amazing. I did £1.50.
£1.50?
1.3.
What'd you get?
A strawberry limeade popsicle. somewhere that I have been really excited to go to, and that is Southern Hill Farms in Clermont, Florida. We are here from Central Florida, and that was about maybe like a 45-50 minute drive from us. It is a farm that we absolutely love going to. It is so much fun, and they put on a mean fall festival, but it's free to get in during the you-pick season, where basically you can go and pick sunflowers. They have a bunch of strawberry fields and a huge field of blueberries, so you can go and pick fruit. During the fall, you can pick all kinds of flowers. You can pick they actually had the sunflower field open today as well, so we could go and do that. I just decided not to. I wasn't interested in that today. Today I was interested in the blueberries and in the strawberries, which were just so plentiful, and it was so stinking fun. So when I saw on the website that they had the you-pick season open, it's something I've always wanted to do. For their fall festival, you have to pay $25 to get into the farm, which is ridiculous. You would think you were getting into a theme park. It is so expensive, but we have paid it multiple times because it is really, really fun. They put on so many things, and this farm is amazing because they have all kinds of fun things going on, not just the fields to go and pick things, but they also have an abundance of food trucks. They have this kind of festival, carnival looking area where they have rides and stuff for kids to do. And they also have different like little stores that you can go and buy really fun things. Like they have a shop. It's just an amazing farm. And over the last couple of years, it has just been growing and booming, and they keep adding food trucks and experiences and all kinds of stuff for you to do. Well, I have been wanting to do the you-pick to go get some berries. So that is what we did today. Now, I kept kind of going back and forth as to whether we wanted to go and do this. Now, my husband, Daniel Yorro, is a dialysis patient, and he also just had surgery a week and a half ago. So I was already kind of worried, kind of stressed, like, should we do this? But I was like, let's do it. So my husband has a scooter that we purchased last year, and it is a really awesome scooter. It runs around $700 to $900. I think we got it for around $750, and it's from Amazon, which is amazing. So we got it in like less than a week when we ordered it. And the thing about his scooter, it has 3 wheels, not 4, and it has good amount of power, but with any scooter, it's not gonna work on every terrain. And his scooter, by the way, I'll link it down below, and I love this scooter. I filmed a review on another channel, but I'm gonna film a review probably for this channel because this scooter has been life-changing. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But it's a scooter that doesn't work on all terrains, just like every scooter out there. And so we were a little bit worried. This farm has a lot of sand. Like the dirt is like, I don't know, it's like very sandy. And so the scooter, when it sinks down into certain terrains, it doesn't work very well, and it will get stuck. It'll sink in and get stuck. So I was already, and I'm sorry I keep scratching my nose, but oh my gosh, my allergies are like activated after a whole day outside. And so, yeah, I was kind of concerned that Daniel was not going to be able to have a good experience because he wouldn't be able to get very far. And the reason he uses the scooter is because he can walk and everything just fine. It's just he gets really tired with being a dialysis patient. By the way, he is on dialysis as a result of the pandemic. He got the cocoa, so our story is quite crazy. Watch some videos down below and they'll tell you a little bit more about our journey to the kidney transplant process. But I was kind of concerned that our day would be ruined if we couldn't get very far. The walk from the parking lot to the actual entrance of the farm is through a grassy field, and there's patches of like really deep sandy dirt. And so right off the bat, we were already struggling. We got stuck in the sand and we're like, okay, it doesn't even work if I try to push Daniel, which I tried, but Daniel hates me having to push him with the scooter, which is the reason we opted for a scooter versus like just him having a wheelchair. He wanted to have the independence and not have the issue of me having to push him because it is a lot of work. And so that's why we opted in for the more expensive option of getting a scooter. And so that wasn't going to work. He didn't want me pushing him all the way, and it was quite a walk. It was a little bit of a hike. So we decided then to shift gears and carry everything, and we were just going to push the scooter because the weight of Daniel is really what sunk it down. So we're like, okay, we'll push it until we get to the compacted main road to get into the farm. and we'll just go from there. So we did that. We found some compacted dirt, but we kind of kept sinking in as well. And I was already kind of getting worried that our day wasn't gonna go as planned. But we get into the farm and they do have like the main walkway that goes like into the entrance of the farm is paved. So right off the bat, we're doing great there. The blueberry fields were right as you walk in on the right side. So they were, I mean, we did not have to go far to get to the blueberry fields. They were very, very close to the entrance of the farm. So we could just go from the paved path right into the field. So we did that first because we knew that was possibly going to work. Now what really works is that, like I mentioned, the scooter does work in grasses, certain grasses, because it compacts the ground a little bit better and he doesn't sink in. So long and behold, it worked. We were able to get the scooter into the grassy patches between the rows of bushes. So Daniel did not want to pick berries, and it was pretty funny. I was like, why, you know, pick some just so I can get some video of you picking berries, because it's cute and it's for memories that we did this. Homeboy did not want to pick a single berry, and my husband and I are not outdoorsy people, and I was like scared of spiders and bugs in the bushes, but thankfully nothing like that. And Daniel was like, yeah, it's not my thing. So that's fine. We still had an amazing time and we really enjoyed doing this activity, and I was so glad that for the most part Daniel didn't get stuck. He did get stuck in some areas when we had to go around to get into another row. Like between the rows there was sometimes a little bit of patches of sand and he would sink, but for the most part he did great. The scooter did great getting through the rows of bushes. So we did good there. We had a good time. We went and got our berries weighed, the grassy area to get to the gazebo where we checked out and paid for our berries. The scooter did an amazing job getting through that. So far we were doing good. I will say that whenever we do activities like outside and it gets pretty warm here in Florida, we're very grateful today because it was semi-cloudy, so it didn't get too hot, and so I knew it wasn't gonna wear out Daniel as much as it usually does. And I get pretty worn out too, because when we are doing these kind of outdoorsy activities or we go to Disney or whatever, it almost feels like for us it's just twice the amount of work, because I have to worry about the scooter. I'm worrying where Daniel is at all times. I'm making sure he's drinking water, and you know, it is stressful for the both of us. But I will say my personality really tends towards anxiety and like worst case scenarios, and my husband has to be like, Carla, I'm doing okay. Like, okay, I'm just worried about you. But thankfully things were going pretty smoothly. So from there we decided, let's go get some treats, let's go get some lunch. And they have this huge covered area, and they have some food trucks parked in the inside, and it's under a roof, so you're not gonna get too hot. And thankfully, due to the cloud cover, the day was pretty breezy and comfortable. It wasn't like extreme heat. We're not there yet in our Florida weather, but we're getting close, a few months, and it's gonna be just super humid, blasting heat. So thankfully that wasn't today. I would do this during this season, but as we get into April and May and June, you couldn't pay me to be out there. It just gets way too hot. But thankfully we went, we had some lunch, and we just had a really good time. We were able to find a chair, and it wasn't as crowded today as it is during their fall festival. That also helps, because crowds during these type of things, like we'll go to Disney sometimes and just be like, we need to go, because it's just so crowded, and maneuvering the scooter and our stuff through the crowd, it gets a little bit overwhelming and we kind of get overstimulated, especially me. Daniel he's a very patient man. I'm telling you, God knew what he was doing when he gave me my husband, because I get so overwhelmed. I'm just like, honestly, I can't handle any more of this. Let's go home. And I'm very grateful because I have a husband who can take a lot, and he stays calmer than I do. And I'm always worried of like, where is he? But thankfully today wasn't super crowded, and so I didn't feel like overstimulated. And even when it gets crowded there, it's a sprawling huge farm. I mean, they have acres and acres, so it just doesn't get as bad as it does like in other places. So we had a great time, we had lunch, and now we are seeing that the strawberry field is not as close as the blueberry field. And so we're like, okay, let's just go out to where the signs are pointing toward the strawberry field, and we'll decide from there And this will be one of the activities that we can have on our list for today. Now, strawberries is what I was really excited about. I love blueberries, but I love strawberries. And funny enough, Daniel doesn't eat berries. He doesn't like them, but I do. Oh my gosh, any kind of berry, I'm into it. And I was really excited about the strawberry plants, like really excited. And unfortunately, as we start heading towards the strawberry plants, we realize that it's a dirt road to get there. It's not a paved walkway. And so I'm looking at Daniel, he's looking at me, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna have to go get these strawberries by myself, which is not fun. That's the point of today's activity. I don't want to have to go through things by myself, but that's just the reality when dealing with stuff like this. Sometimes you're just gonna have to go do it on your own, and that's okay. So we decided to leave Daniel in the grassy field that led to the strawberry fields, and he would wait for me there because that's as far as the scooter could take him. And so he would keep the camera bag and the bag of our, with our lunch stuff and everything, and I would go out with the camera and the box that they provided and go out into the strawberry fields. I was bummed that I was gonna have to go by myself, but I understood, and so he was like, go have some you time and do that. So I head out there, and you guys, I quickly regretted my decision to go and get some strawberries because they had, it was fields and fields and fields of strawberries. They had like field 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys, I made it all the way to field 6, and the field were huge. And the reason being that everything had been so picked over that the only place where there were strawberries was the farthest field out. And it was this really deep sandy road that I had to walk to get to these strawberries. When I tell you, I was like really considering how badly did I want these $2 per pound strawberries, because I was pretty sure that I could go to the grocery store and get them for the same price. Only it wouldn't come with the satisfaction that I picked them myself and that they're super fresh. But I'm like, but they will taste the same, Carla. They will taste the same. Anyways, I'm like, I'm already here. I want to get some cute footage of me picking some strawberries, looking all farm life. But anyways, I had to walk super far. I'm like, my husband's gonna think I fainted in the middle of one of these fields and died, because it was starting to get hot, the sun was coming out, but I was like, I'm getting these strawberries. So I went out, I picked some strawberries by myself, and I had a really good time. I was able to find some really good strawberries before I knew it. Like, the box was already full. Like you don't realize it, but you're out there picking and having so much fun that before you know it, you're like, your box is full, your bucket is full. So I filled up the basket or the box to a good spot, and I don't even remember. I know I got 1.3 pounds of blueberries. I don't know how many strawberries I got, but it's plenty because Daniel, like I said, doesn't eat berries. So I have berries for days. But I came back, and when I came back, Daniel, the same Carla that went out into the field was not the same Carla that returned, because the Carla that returned back to her husband was very moody, sweaty, tired Carla who really needed a really cold ice water. And I was like, Daniel, go check out. So I stayed with the scooter. He went and he checked out. He walked over and did the line to check out and pay for the berries. And yeah, that was pretty much summing up our day, and we were ready to get out and go to the truck and head home. Now here's the thing. We had to drag the scooter through most of the way from the car into the farm, and we knew it was going to be hard to go back. And so Daniel made the executive decision, and I was a little bit worried about this, that I would stay with the scooter by the entrance of the farm with all of our stuff, and he was just gonna go out and get the truck, drive it up to the entrance, and then we would get the scooter put in, because dragging it was not fun, okay? It was not fun, and we were tired.
At the entrance, and I'm gonna go get the truck when we're leaving, so we don't have to drag the scooter.
So the thing is, I get really worried when, Daniel and I have had a full day of activities, and he's gonna go and walk out a far distance. Now, it wasn't too bad of a distance because, like I mentioned, it wasn't as crowded as it usually is, so we didn't park that far from the entrance of the farm. But he made it. I was tracking him on my phone, and I was stressed. I'm like, if my husband faints in the middle of a dirt road, Like, well, I know. So anyways, I was kind of worried about him, but thankfully he did good. He was able to pull up the truck. We got the scooter put into the car and we were on our way home. So all of this to say, our day didn't go perfectly. There was some things Daniel obviously couldn't participate in because the accessibility wasn't there, but we still had a really good day. And kind of some takeaways from days like this is that, one, even if we feel unsure whether there is an activity that we can go or participate in because we don't know what the accessibility will be like, it's still worth it to give it a shot. I really, like, the whole week I was like, we should go on Saturday. No, let's not go. We should go. We shouldn't go. Until Daniel yesterday was like, Carla, enough, we're going. You really want to go? We're going to go. If it turns out that we can't do things, then we can't do things and we just turn the car around. It's only a 45-minute drive. It's whatever. And for me, you know, I was so scared of being disappointed that we would go and that I would just have this picture in my mind of this like beautiful berry picking, flower picking day, and then it wouldn't work out that way, that I just didn't even want to try. And it's funny because my husband is the one dealing with a disability, but I'm the one who never wants to try, who never wants to take a shot and be like, let's just take a risk, and if it doesn't work out, we just leave, you know? And the great thing was that to go was free. So we weren't going to be wasting anything or spending any money other than gas money. So I'm just really glad that we tried anyways, because we ended up having a really good day. And I've had to learn in this season of life that because of what we're dealing with, I can't have the expectations of how days will go or activities will go or trips will go. It can't be the same expectations I had of like when we weren't going through this, when we were just a regular couple, freshly married, having a great time. Our lives are different now. They are. We're dealing with disability now. We're dealing with illness. We're dealing with issues that we didn't have at the start of our marriage. And I've had to learn that I need to accept that. I have had to learn that we go at a slower pace than other people. So I can't be looking to my neighbor and being upset because my life is not moving at the same pace that their life is moving, because we're dealing with illness. We're waiting for an organ to become available so my husband can be healthy again. That's crazy. That's a big deal. My husband actually had a conversation with me this week where he was like, you do realize an organ is a big deal. That I'm getting an organ is a big deal. And sometimes I get frustrated because my life just looks so different. And he has to remind me, like, Carla, we're going through something big. Like, you can't keep up with things like you could, or, you know, we get very busy and we get a little bit more overwhelmed with smaller things than we did maybe back in the day. And the reality is we're going through a tough season, and it's just that it's a season. But even if it were the rest of our lives, could I trust that God in the middle of it will give us beautiful moments, will give us peace, will give us the rest that we need, that He is enough? And so if we don't get to do everything, if we don't get to experience everything, if everything isn't perfect, will I still just be grateful for the beauty in the small things, like sitting in a picnic table enjoying some really good nachos with my husband? So if you are someone who's going through disability, I want you to know, just try, get out there, you know, even, and the thing too, don't feel like a burden. Like, it's okay if you're gonna need some extra help to be able to enjoy activities. If accommodations have to be made for you, then accommodations have to be made for you. Don't feel guilty about that. My husband really struggled, and he's okay with me sharing this. My husband really struggled with getting a scooter. He was like, no, people are just gonna look at me and judge me and say, why is that really young guy needing a scooter? Like, he could just walk. But they don't know, because maybe his disabilities and what he's going through is invisible on the outside, because the scars are underneath his shirt, because a catheter is underneath his shirt, and people can't tell that he's sick. So that judgment from others, we don't need to be listening to that. We need to be focusing on our loved ones who want to be able to share experiences with us. And so I hope that this encourages you, that if you're dealing with something similar, no, it's not easy, and I hope I don't make it seem that way. Every day comes with its new set of struggles, but the Lord says every day He will renew His mercies. Every day there are reasons to be joyous and to enjoy life, and you deserve to enjoy it. So I hope that this video helped you. There are more videos linked down below, and also some that will pop in the screen if you're interested in more, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.